Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations of much love to the rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word and truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from Excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, You'll See This Laser Soon. Or I probably should title it, You'll See This Weapon Soon. Okay? Maybe both. Okay? The image I have on display is from a documentary that I assisted in putting together. But, of course, being the truth, I reflected on this particular scene. This movie is titled Short Circuit, but it's dated May 9th, 1986, directed by John Badham. But in this particular documentary, it brought up the summary of this particular film, and I totally forgot what this movie was about, but it brought back a lot of memories. But basically, let me go into the Wikipedia here to give you a synopsis here of this film, Short Circuit. It was a 1986 American science fiction comedy, and it was directed by John Badham. And I've done several different videos from this director. He did Dracula in '79, did Blue Thunder 1983, and also did War Games. And he's 83 right now. He's still living, and I'm not sure what other projects he's done recently. But like I said, when I was around 11 years old, he did this movie around an experimental military robot that was struck by lightning, and he gained human-like intelligence. And he basically escaped from his facility, and he learned about the world. And his name was Number 5, and later on in the film, he turned his name to Johnny 5. But basically, this particular robot, they were called Saints. And there was an acronym for Strategic Artificially Intelligent Nuclear Transport. And it was made for the U.S. military during the Cold War operations. And they tried to act like they rather sought out peaceful applications for the robot. But basically, this thing was designed. And they had a live demonstration for the military. And one of the units, the star of the show, this Saint Number 5, was struck by lightning. And it affected the particular programming of the unit and made it sentient. And that's what resulted from him escaping from this particular facility. But they showed you when they demonstrated the robot how he had this laser attached to his back. And it made me think of the robot dogs. If you haven't seen these robot dogs, but they had this same similar type of weaponry mounted on the back of the robot. Okay, and these things are going to be used during Jacob's trouble when all hell breaks loose. Most likely when martial law is declared. Okay, to get the people together, especially in a riot type scenario. Okay, and in some cases there may not be a riot type scenario. It may just be out there patrolling the grounds and patrolling the neighborhoods and so forth. Okay, especially if there's like a curfew or so forth. I remember I had this particular dog, and he was a Chihuahua, and he was really hard to train. But when I had him in the facility, I had to keep him on a leash, because anytime he saw somebody that was outside of their facility or condominium, he would go and he would bark at them, and so if he wasn't on a leash, he would go and he would try and bite them. So can you imagine a robot dog with a laser sighting and a laser type of weapon mounted on his back? Okay, it's gonna be the same thing. This particular robot had like treadmills and so forth, and it can move really fast, and it figured out how to learn on its own. So it had artificial intelligence. And keep in mind, this is in the mid 80s, all right? And of course, it was being remote controlled, but imagine what these particular robot dogs that they have now and what they're about to unleash. Specifically here in the Babylon the Great, aka America. Let me go and play this scene. This is actually from this astrophysicist, Dr. Stephen DeGennaro, and he was commenting on the film as well. And I'm going to bring out what he said then, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures.
And a sense of life and a sense of adventure. It's built as a military weapon of war that can destroy things with like a single laser bolt. But as a kid, you don't see that. You don't think about that. You just like, he's alive.
You hear that? Well, boy, what did Esau do to my childhood? You know, but hey, I totally forgot about this film. Like I said, I'm watching the documentary, and I forgot about. I was in the same sense of mind. I saw this robot, and hey, it was a cute robot. But then I totally forgot about his military application and his true purpose. Okay. This is the cover of the film there. But anyway, let me bring out some scriptures here. And like I said, this is a war type device, and yeah, it made it look all cute throughout the film. But hey, like this is made for war. Let's bring out Psalms chapter 55. We're going to read verse 21. Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. And it reads, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." So really, this is an example of Esau's sword. You know, Esau was given the blessing of the sword in Genesis. And here we are in this modern day. And now, by using his drones and all this type of, we can go on and on about the military might of Esau, but this is a form of it. You know, a particular robotic device that can work on its own and kill and destroy. All right. That weapon, all right. So, like I said, like they were talking about this particular robot was a peaceful application, but hey, their whole intention was to bring out war. So, as a kid, you know, you see the cuteness of the robot, and you know, and one spoiler alert: there's a particular scene where the robot, you know, basically almost gets destroyed. You feel bad for the robot. Yeah, and it was like, wow, it's so interesting how, you know, these devices are designed to brainwash you and to get you to pull your guard down. Meanwhile, it's easy for you to get your guard down so that they can destroy you. It's easy for you to destroy you when you don't have your guard up. Okay, let's bring out Psalms chapter 120, verse 7. Okay, Psalms 120, verse 7 reads, "I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war." You see that? I'm for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. All right, that's what we're coming to real shortly, boy. Right around the corner. All right, with everything going on. And these things were designed for these particular times that we're living in. Okay. And I'm going to end it on this, because I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there's a happy ending. A lot of people are going to be taken down by these particular robots. Okay. Robot dogs, and there's all different types of robots too. They don't have to be necessarily robot dogs. Of course, you know, the military, of course, but this is all done through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai on the left-hand side. Okay, all right. Well, we're coming into that time of Jacob's trouble, and these pork chop eating pastors aren't bringing this kind of thing out. Okay. In fact, you have some pastors that even have they sponsored like those little like robot wars. You know, you have the little arena, and you have the kids make the little robots with the little remote control, and they go out there and smash each other up. And it's like, oh man, it's like you're not going to be able to use a little small remote control robot to tear these robots up. These robots are tactical, okay, and they have military programming, and some are even controlled by military personnel in offshore locations. Okay, that's how these drones are used to strike different targets and so forth. All right, but let's bring out Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Okay, it's a scripture that's not brought out a lot. This should perk your ears if it hasn't so already. All right, this is taught by our elder apostles on down. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7 for reads, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it." Now, he is the elect and the 1/3 of Israel that's going to be saved. All right. During World War III. And that's going to, of course, come after the I should say Jacob's trouble, as well as the implementation of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. Okay, and so a lot of technology is going to be brought out these last days. It's not for your good. It's for your detriment. Okay, for your destruction. Okay, and it's coming shortly. Okay. And I just wanted to share that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.